Let's talk about how to make your vertical planner work for you. Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today I'm continuing my series where I am diving into all of the different planner layouts that I can find so that we can talk about ways to use them to make them the most productive possible for you. Different ways that you can consider how you want to use your different planner layouts. And today we are diving into the vertical layout. So if you want to check out any of the other layouts on my channel or the layouts that I have covered, make sure to hit subscribe. I've done the dashboard layout, we've done block layout, we've done the quad layout, we've done a ton of different layouts, and you're going to want to check them all out. Okay, so if you want to see how to use the vertical layout in your planner to maximize it for your needs, let's go. All right, this is the vertical layout. Like I said, it's one of the most popular layouts out there, probably the most commonly used layout. It is called the vertical layout because you have 3 rows of vertical boxes. And it's very simple, very easy to use, pretty straightforward. And that's why I think it's probably one of the most popular layouts out there. Now, let's start with the basics. Of course, in a planner, oftentimes you're wanting to organize your schedule, all of your tasks. I think the easiest way to use this as a scheduling layout is to consider the 3 boxes, the 3 portions of your day: morning, afternoon, evening. And in that way, you can kind of just section off your day. It allows you to kind of see how your week is spaced out. So you might start with an appointment on Monday morning. I tend to offset my boxes. That's just how I do. And then maybe you have a dinner date on Monday evening. You're going to add that in. Tuesday, perhaps you have something in the afternoon, maybe some extra soccer practice. That is generally what our afternoons are made of. So I might add a little decorative sticker here. I'll probably move it up a little bit, and maybe I have gymnastics or taking a kid somewhere, something like that in the afternoon. So you just layer it in. You can fill this in. Dentist at 9 a.m. Maybe here you have date night. And then gym at 3 p.m. So you're kind of organizing your schedule within those portions of the day: morning, noon, evening. In between those, that is where you might end up listing your tasks. So perhaps on Monday, you do have a few extra tasks that you need done. So let me just grab some bullet points. Actually, I am currently using the Megabook Fun Brights from the Happy Planner. Oh, let's use some Happy Planner discs for that. So let's add in some of the peach discs right here as little bullet points. This is where I might list some of the tasks for the day. When I'm using this to organize my schedule, I generally just fit in tasks here and there, wherever I have room. So it might not be that I'm doing these tasks in the afternoon, but that's just kind of where they ended up. So I can add, 1 or 2 right here and just fit it around what is going on in my day. So that is one way to organize your schedule. The way that I used to love using the vertical layout was a combination of my schedule and my task list. And that is going to be almost creating my own checklist layout. And here is what that ended up looking like. Let's grab here. I might layer some of these. Let's see. I'm looking for some stickers that I can use for scheduling purposes. Let's just go straight to rainbow. This is the rainbow mega boxes. And so I can grab some scheduling stickers in here. Yeah, these will work great. Okay. So for this, I probably would choose, what I would do is put my schedule in the top row boxes, the schedule for the whole day, no matter what timing of the day was. So I would add in a few boxes here and there. Maybe I had some things going on this particular Saturday. Perhaps I wanted to, just looking for some smaller boxes now. Here we go. Let's layer in one of these, a couple of things going on Thursday. Maybe Friday was going to be a free day. And then perhaps on Sunday, I have a whole list of events. Let me look. I mean, we could put this. This could work. We can add this in. All right, so that's where I would put my schedule, the things I have going on for a particular day. I think I want to move this sticker. Let's see if we can do that. Yes, we can. All right, so Sunday, we got a lot going on. Saturday, a few kids games, things like that. All of my scheduling would be up here in this area. Then down here, I usually did a combination of checklists and bullet points. So let's see if we have any checklists. Here we go. So we can pull in a few checklists over here. And I love doing just rows of checklists in the middle that just allowed me to keep things a little bit more organized. So I could see all my tasks that I had planned for each day all in one section. I loved this as a way to just organize visually what was happening in my brain. So let me get this up here. So I would just add all these task lists or bullet points, whatever the case may be. I would add all of those in the middle. So I had schedule at the top, tasks in the middle, and then what did I put at the bottom? Well, sometimes at the bottom, I would do purely decorative things like so, just having fun little pieces here and there. Sometimes I would use the bottom to highlight specific things. For instance, maybe someone's birthday, fun events that took up more time during the day, or like maybe didn't necessarily have a time specific stamp during the day. So maybe I would do something, take one of these. Maybe I would say like Olympic trials or watching football or headed to the pool, whatever the case may be, something that maybe wasn't so time specific. So I would use the bottom row for more general things that kind of encompass the whole day, or that gave me an opportunity to add in decorative pieces that I hadn't gotten to add in, that I wanted to kind of play with in my week, which I absolutely loved getting to do. I could also add in just fun little things like, hey, don't forget, maybe I was writing myself a note, something like that. So I kind of use this as like a miscellaneous place, something where I could just add in whatever I needed for that particular day, which works really well for me. I loved the vertical layout. I love decorating the vertical layout. It can be really functional in that way for organizing your schedule and your tasks and your to-dos. The vertical layout can also be really helpful for documenting your wellness and your fitness. Of course, with the 3 boxes, if you are doing a food log, tracking what you're eating, you can have breakfast, lunch, dinner. I usually would divide breakfast into breakfast and snacks because I didn't have quite as much. So breakfast and snacks, lunch and dinner is how that usually went for me. I have always liked being able to write down what exercise I did on a particular day. So oftentimes I would list that at the top here. So I would add in this as my exercise for the day. I could list it out right here. Then I would generally use my second box as an opportunity to write down my meals for the day. Oftentimes that means that I would section that off into 3 different sections. We're just going to kind of guesstimate on the lines, but if I were using this as a regular planner, I'd probably be a little bit more precise on where those were going to be, but I would label it breakfast, lunch, dinner, adding that in. And then I always like in a wellness planner of any sorts, I like having an opportunity to check in, something that I think we don't do often enough with ourselves. It just has to be a few lines. Let me just grab a stencil real fast. Just adding in a few lines as an opportunity to check in with how you are feeling on a particular day. So I would add in lines right here. And that's a great way to track. So up here, I would probably put, for instance, I ran 3 miles. It took me 30 minutes and I burned 350 calories. That's how I like to do it. And that is a 10-minute pace. Then I would write breakfast bowl, salad, and Chinese takeout. Because we can't be healthy on all the things. And then here I would just take a moment, quick things, felt tired, didn't sleep well last night. Something like that. How am I feeling today physically? So you can work your way across the spread doing that, tracking those different categories within your spread. You also can use the sidebar in a vertical layout. There's lots of ways, including just using the habit trackers in the sidebar area, because maybe in order to track your health and wellness and your fitness and all of that business, maybe what you're really wanting to do is work on some habits. So habit trackers are fantastic for that. You might want to write out some goals for the week. So maybe that's what you're doing to keep track of things. I'm going to add my habit trackers here at the bottom. Maybe you're tracking water. Maybe you're tracking hitting a certain number of steps each day. And then a place to write out my goals for the week. And let's add this little bit in right there to fill up that space. So up here, I would write my goals, my fitness goals, my wellness goals for the week. And then 8 glasses of H2O. And then this one might be exercise, like marking off the days that I exercise. So you can track it in a more minimal way like that if you're not wanting to use your whole spread for that particular purpose. We also talked about when I was doing scheduling tasks miscellaneous, it would be very easy to track some miscellaneous things like wellness and fitness down here at the bottom. All right, if you are using this as a medical or health planner, which I know so many of us have to track different medications, we're logging different symptoms, we are keeping track of certain stats. Maybe you're taking your blood pressure every day, maybe testing for different things, your heart rate, things like that. You can totally use this layout for that purpose as well. So I might do something like, if this were medications, maybe I could do a box right here. We could do like AM and PM medications. A box right here. Maybe put in some bullet points. Maybe in the morning I have these two. And then in the afternoon, we're going to track 2 more. AM meds, PM meds, and I can list them out and then check them off as I'm doing them. I could put stats, important things that I want to remember right here. Be information that I'm planning to take to my doctor. And then I always think when you are doing a wellness layout of any sorts, keeping track of symptoms is pretty darn important. So I would probably do this and use this as like a symptom log. What symptoms did I have today? How was I feeling today? You could also just take this and add in some lines for that purpose. I did do mine like this. Just a few lines. Again, kind of a check-in. Same thing we did with health and wellness, but maybe this is more medical, like migraine, no migraine, what was the trigger, things like that. So just checking in different ways. So this allows you to set up a medical, like a medication tracker, track some important stats. Maybe you're tracking your weight. Maybe you're on a weight loss journey and you're tracking your weight and your blood pressure as you go, and then a symptom log on how you are feeling for that particular day. All right, using this as a faith planner. I'll be completely honest, this is not my favorite layout to use as a faith planner to take notes in. However, if you are literally wanting to plan out some parts of your faith life and you are taking notes in a different notebook as you study different devotionals, this could really work for you. So maybe on the side, I always love a sidebar where you can have it be something really functional. So maybe instead of goals right here, maybe you are doing a prayer list. Maybe you're doing a little bit of a prayer list right here. So these are things that you are praying for throughout the week. Let me add just a little bit of decor right here, because why not? That's super cute. Okay. So this will be my prayer list for the week. Then what I would do if I were using this as faith, something that I would want to track are what is my reading plan for that particular day? What am I planning on reading? I would want to track perhaps a verse of the day, something I would be writing. And then I would want to track gratitude because I think gratitude is connected to my faith definitely on several levels. So I probably want to add this in here because it just says, it's just beautiful. Okay, so I might start out up here. This might be where I have my faith plan for the day. What do I plan to read and study on that particular day? So, if you were in Psalm 73, Acts 4, and 1 Kings 22. All right. So that would be, this is my reading plan for the day. Then I would have my verse of the day that I would probably write out in this section. And then down here, I would do gratitude, and I might do something. Let me add a little something right here, because why not? Add this right here. And then use this 1, 2, 3 as an opportunity to note 3 pieces of gratitude for the day. So I have my reading plan for the day, my verse of the day, and then what my gratitude is. When I did my reading, where would my notes go? Maybe I'm doing a Bible journal entry. Maybe I'm taking notes in a separate notebook, whatever the case may be. But this kind of allows you to plan out your faith week. You could even mark in special days where you had like Bible study or something like that. If I had a smaller sticker for this one, well, I could just use one of these. So maybe on this day, I also, like on this Tuesday, I had Bible study, just so I could make sure I remembered that as far as my faith plan for the week. If I were using this layout as a faith planner, that's probably how I would set it up. I just don't see a lot of opportunity for taking notes within this layout just because the lines are not there to take notes in it to start with. So that's just my opinion, something I would consider before choosing this as a faith layout planner. All right, so how about a goal setting planner or a habit setting planner? Of course, I showed you how you can track habits on the sidebar pretty easily. You could also use one of the rows of boxes to track habits. But what if you wanted a planner, you got some big goals and you wanted to be very specific in how that is going to work? I'm going to show you what one of my patrons has done, which I thought was so smart. So she takes her sidebar and she always has 3 boxes of some sort over in her sidebar section. Let's just do 3 circles. And she sets 3 goals for the week, maybe in different areas of her life, maybe all in one area, just different, it could be work goals, whatever it is. So it's goal number 1, goal number 2, and goal number 3. So for her, she then just uses the rest of the planner as you would probably anticipate someone would use a planner with their schedule and tasks and things like that. But what if you wanted to divide it up even more? And for each day of the week, you were kind of labeling, kind of talking through how did you plan to work towards goal number 1? What progress did you make towards goal number 1? What progress did you make towards goal number 2? And what progress did you make with goal number 3? Tracking your progress towards goals, either you're setting specific tasks for how you're trying to complete that goal and you're working throughout the week on that, and then you're just checking in, or you're saying, hey, I didn't make progress. What was my obstacle on this particular day? So I think that would be a great way to really dive into goals. You're breaking it down. A goal to clean out the house. Well, it's not going to just say I'm going to clean out the house this week. Today I'm working on the medicine cabinet. I threw away medicines. I gathered up expired medicines to turn in. I threw away trash that was in there. Goal number 2, maybe it is to do a little bit more self-care. Well, I took 10 minutes. My goal was 10 minutes of reading. I actually read for 20 minutes. So it helped with my self-care on a particular day. So you're kind of taking note and diving into those goals, which I think is awesome. If you wanted to do this in combination, maybe 3 goals feels like a lot. Maybe you're working towards one thing each week or breaking down one larger, longer goal over a longer period of time. Then you could just have this and monitor it in one of the rows of boxes. All right, what if you wanted to use the vertical layout for a budget planner? I say it all the time. I don't typically do budget planning. I do different systems for that, but I do think that this could work for a very simple budget planner in that I feel like you could use the different rows of boxes for very simple things. So I'm going to start with this down here. What if you simply, what if you just took pieces like this and this was simply money in? What money did you bring in on this particular day? Money out. What money did you spend, whether it be a bill? You can go ahead and list bills in advance. Maybe you already knew that you had a certain bill that was due on this particular day, so you're adding that sticker in so you can make sure that gets done, kind of checking it off. And then in the bottom box, what I would probably do is track something like savings. Like, did I add an amount to my savings on a particular day? And maybe I added in $100 on this particular day. Or maybe I'm tracking different savings goals, different categories for like sinking funds or things like that. So I could add that here in the bottom and kind of keep track of how those were going, what was happening in those. So I think it could be really simple. Maybe to start your budget planning, the best thing you can do is to just start tracking what's happening. Money in, money out. What I would then probably do is use the sidebar to be tracking general budget items throughout the week. So you might have, what did I spend on food this week? What did I spend on planner purchases this week? What were my bills this week? Those type of things. So you're kind of keeping the totals over on the sidebar, but you're tracking the day-to-day activity throughout the spread. So I think it could work. I don't know how it would work helping you see the whole month altogether. That's something you might want to use the double page monthly layout for. But if you are trying to like dig in and to actually write things and put pen to paper and track what is coming in and what is going out, then this could be very functional for you. One of my very favorite ways to use the vertical layout is actually as a journal, a creative journal, which might sound weird because it doesn't have lines on it. However, I find that it's a lot of fun to use as a journal because it doesn't feel intimidating like you have to write sentences and sentences like a ton. What I like to do is track gratitude over here on the side. So things I'm grateful for during the week. Then throughout the week, I will probably add a few decorative stickers here and there. Maybe I'm going to add in, let's do this. And I would just kind of write in some of the spaces. So maybe I bring this in right here to layer. Let's see if this one. Sorry, I put it down crooked and it's not going to want to lay very nice. So let's see if we can get it to lay a little bit nicer. There we go. All right, so I would layer in boxes here and there so that I could write some things that went on throughout the week. And I tend to like to layer those in with inspirational phrases. You can always add in some journaling lines. Some right here. You don't have to use lines to journal on. Obviously, you can just write straight up in your planner. But I just like lines. It keeps me on track. So I can add in some journaling lines. I kind of want to do, I love these stickers. We need a little bit more decorative version. Are they over on this side? Not yet. Hold on. Let me look. Maybe I am wanting to track a habit in my journaling, like whether or not I did the journaling. I could add that in. Let's see what else we got over here. Oh, big dreams. That one's cool. It's pretty easy to just add it in. And then I would just write in the different areas, the things you're thinking about. It just, to me, it breaks down creative journaling in a different way. What am I writing in a creative journal? I'm writing things that happened that day. I'm writing fun lists. I'm writing cool quotes or lyrics. I'm just having fun with the decorating and with the playing in here and seeing what I can make of it. And it's just a fun little outlet. I think decorating is a big part of the fun. So don't, skip that part. Let's do a little overlap right here. You can kind of see how that can start to come together, and then you're just filling in the spaces as you go with different things you're wanting to write. So I do think that this one does lend itself to a creative journal or to journaling purposes. What you gain from this is that it doesn't feel as intimidating to fill in with long sentences. The con is there's not as much space to fill in with long form journaling. So it kind of depends on how you like to use your planner for a creative journal. As you can see, there are a ton of different ways to use the vertical layout. That is probably why it is the most popular layout. It's the one that the Happy Planner releases the most of. Every planner company has some form of a vertical layout that you can use for your planner. Let me know down below, are you team vertical? Do you use the vertical layout? And if you do use the vertical layout, what do you use it for? How do you like to set it up? Give us some tips and tricks down below. I love when the planner community comes together and shares little tidbits on all of these fun layouts. Thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget, this is an ongoing series on my channel. So if you want to learn more about diving into the different layouts that are offered out there, then make sure to hit that subscribe button so you will find out when I release new videos. I do have inserts available, planner inserts in 3 different sizes over in my shop on my website, ScrappyWife.com. So I do have a link to that down below. So be sure to check those out. Some fun and different layouts over there. All right. I do want to give a huge shout out to all of my Patreon members. You all are the absolute best. Love the community over on Patreon. If you want to find out more about Patreon, you can click the link down in my description box below. All right. I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.